The direction I'm going now with my music is probably the most confident I've been. I feel the most, this is definitely me. Whereas before it was always kind of, oh, I like this. So yeah, definitely at the moment feeling I'm doing the right thing. I will adjust my set because I feel like in certain countries people react more to a different style. I mean the tempo, the BPM is always the same, but definitely like for example in Germany, like I would say I play like mostly my fully true sound, like it's the bouncy style, but I don't have to play like really obvious tracks. I can just play tracks in the style and people just keep dancing and they want to hear things they've never heard before. In some other countries you might have to throw in a few crowd pleasers or whatever, or maybe a couple of tracks that are a bit harder. Part of the job for being a DJ is to also read the crowd, not just play everything you want. So I always try to look at the people and make sure that they're dancing, and then maybe see if I need to change something a bit. To the Netherlands, I would say, I think like the bouncy style now is getting popular everywhere. I mean, if you look at the rise of like Marlon Hofstad more recently, I think he was kind of the first massive star, and then it kind of created this new blend and generation of artists up and coming in that genre. You see this style being booked all over the Netherlands now also. If you look at the Intercell lineups or any other festival lineups, it's kind of predominantly in this style. So I feel like now, specifically in the last 6 months or so, it's becoming really popular here. So I guess that's why it's working really well for me also. At the end of the day, I'm not happy unless the people are happy, you know? I feel it's my job as the DJ to, people are coming, they're paying to see artists, you should make sure that they're also happy. But today is a sunny day, so a lot more sun vibes, festival anthems, I guess, yeah. It doesn't have to be necessarily like a style direction, it can just be a moment, like a track. You need to play a certain track just to change the mood. Like for me, I'll play mostly bouncy style with some groove, but maybe sometimes it's very loopy. So then you need to put in something that has a big melody or something where everyone goes, oh, hands in the air kind of moment. That can just change the whole set. So that's what I always watch out for if I need to bring in that moment. It's about timing. Again, it comes back to reading the room, you know. I don't exactly plan my set. I just have like a list of tracks that I know I like, and I know when I've tested them if they work or not. Obviously I have a lot of tracks, so it's easy now with technology. You can just change the mood in an instant, you know. Not like 20 years ago when you were carrying around records and you had to dig into the bag and go find something. Much easier to be a DJ now, I guess, in one way. Recently actually, but it wasn't my fault. I was playing in Australia and they didn't have the latest update on the CDJs, and my USB wouldn't work, so I had to leave the club, go to the hotel. I got a different USB off the promoter. It was like an older USB, and for some reason this one worked. It was like, yeah, okay. I don't know why, but I've always been pretty good at it. Like when something malfunctions or doesn't work, I'm always just like, if you relax, you'll fix it faster. And normally it's out of my control or out of somebody's control, so there's no point in stressing. I'd rather just try and fix it and get it going fast. I don't know where it came from, but yeah, I don't get stressed in those situations, thankfully. It's funny actually, 2 nights ago I was playing in Ghent, I was telling you earlier, and my friend was playing after me Fenric, and everything went off, the lights went off, the music went off, like everything for like 2 or 3 minutes. And he was the same, like he was really chill about it and just wait for everything to come back on again. And then when it did, obviously everybody just went absolutely crazy. It was like, again, like one of those moments, okay, it's bad that the music came off, but when everything came back on, everyone was going crazy. It was like, yay, the party's back. I started out when I was producing, it was a bit more like groovy, and then it got a bit more harder, like almost like hard techno, but then hard techno became like industrial. I started getting like much faster, much harder, so I started to lean more into what I was doing with, let's say, with the groove, and then mixing it with techno and trance, and kind of meet somewhere in the middle of these three genres. I call it hard bounce because it's quite fast. So that's where the hard comes from, and it's bouncy. So that's what I call it. It's not really a specific genre, I guess. When it first started getting big, people were like, "What do we even call it? It's not techno. It's not trance." So I was like, a few other artists started calling it hard bounce also, and I think it actually fits. It fits the genre pretty well. I'm always open to new things, and like, I'd never 100% say I'm going to do this for the rest of my life. I get bored pretty fast, so when things change, it actually suits me, my personality. But I definitely think the direction I'm going now with my music is probably the most confident I've been. I feel the most, this is definitely me. Whereas before it was always kind of, oh, I like this. So yeah, definitely at the moment feeling I'm doing the right thing. I have to want to play it a lot, which is a strange thing to say because I make a lot of tracks and I never release them because I don't feel it's right, or I'm my own biggest critic. You know, everyone around me always says, "Why don't you release this? Why don't you release that?" I'm like, not feeling it enough, you know. So even right now, I'm taking much more time with what I release. I'd rather put out more quality than quantity. I feel like before, like the first years, you just release as much as possible to get your name out there. And then where I'm at now is I'm just trying to release only stuff that I feel is more quality or even has something a little bit different to what's already out there. So that's kind of my goal at the moment, is just to put out my best work and get better every time, you know. I think most producers would be like that, you know, like you are your own biggest critic, and I think that's a good thing, and it can be a good thing and a bad thing. It can be a good thing because it keeps you in check. It makes you want to aim higher all the time, but also it can put a lot of pressure on yourself, which I know everyone goes through that as well. Yeah, I love it. I wouldn't change anything about it. I'm really bad because I get bored. Like I said, I get bored very fast. Like, so if you make a track, obviously you've heard it a million times, and then to keep playing it every weekend, it's like it's hard. So I love playing other people's music. Now I play my own music, but after, let's say, 6 months of playing it, I'm like, okay, I don't want to play this anymore. Where sometimes, you know, people will ask for it on their phones or whatever, and you go, okay, I'll play it then. But I love playing other artists' music because to me it's so much more interesting. You have to get the balance right, because especially if you're playing a club show and people are coming, you have to play your own music because there's always tracks that people want to hear. And sometimes I get requests from tracks from 2 or 3 years ago, and I'm like, I don't even have it on my new USB. It happened to me recently. I was like, I don't have it. It's funny, but you just have to work with it. The most obvious one was the track I did with 𝗙𝗖𝗟𝗪𝗪.
Fuck what they say.
Obviously, it was the biggest one, and then things got a bit crazy after that. But I think the one that that placed me on the radar was the Mind Control. I think it was 2021, I think. I made the track during COVID. Again, a track with no rules. It was a bit different, and nobody made anything like it before. We were just coming out of COVID. There were some parties started to happen in Europe, and I sent it to some artists, like VTSS was playing it a lot, SPF DJ, like these kind of artists who play a little bit more different styles. And then in the end, Jen, he signed it to his label, and yeah, I think that was definitely the one that kind of started everything for me. Still people ask for it now as well, which is good. Yes, I'm a last minute party guy, definitely. Unexpected, always. That was okay, that was it, yeah? Cool.
Okay.